Hey, what's up? So out of super bored, I'm making a new YouTube channel called Shower Thoughts, and I'm just gonna be stealing shower thoughts off Google while having Minecraft gameplay in the background. Alright, so let's just start off. History classes are only gonna get longer and longer as time goes on. Everyone actually has three voices: the one in your head, the one you hear, and the one you talk to everyone else, and everyone else hears instead. You've probably walked past a murder at least 60 times in your lifetime. Think about that. Let's take a moment to appreciate Mother Nature, not only pre-sliced but also pre-wrapped oranges. Most of my clothes have been to a country that I have not. Think about that. Your clothes have probably traveled way more than you have. If the oldest person on Earth is 116 years old, then 117 years ago, there was a completely different set of human beings on Earth. Fish who are caught and released are the aquatic equivalent of people who claim to be abducted by aliens. Technically, it's impossible to skip breakfast. The first time you eat during a day is when you break your fast. Your entire life has led you up to, led you up to watching this YouTube video. So why not give it a like? Did you know a group of squid should be called a squad? Like, why isn't it called that? Did you know aliens invaded the moon actually on June 20th, 1969? Saying is the human equivalent to buffering. When you're a kid, dick jokes are considered adult content, but when you're an adult, they're considered immature. Cars should have two horns. One is nice and the other is mean. I have no idea what I've forgotten, and you never will, unless you remember it later in time. When we say hair, we're referring to lots of it, but when we say hairs, we're only referring to a few. If Mary had baby Jesus, and Jesus is the Lamb of God, then Mary really did have a little lamb. If I'm lucky, my internal organs will never see the light of day. Getting birthday money is a real-life equivalent of passing go and collecting $200. The reason cheaters would never win is because the cheaters did win and didn't get caught. Arms is another word for guns, and guns is another word for arms. Squawks said backwards sounds the same, even though it's not a palindrome. We rescue homeless animals and shun homeless people. I will be the last person to die in my lifetime. Asking someone where are you is a recent thing before we had mobile phones. The only way we could talk to people if we knew where they were. I bet attractive people in the world is a lot more polite than it really is. I wonder if I'm closer to my death than my birth right now. If I were a serial killer, I would call myself the Suspense, so that the suspense would be literally killing people. In order to fall asleep, you have to pretend to be asleep. The witch from Trebina naming their cat Salem is like a Jewish family naming a cat Auschwitz. They should really mark the tissues in a box with red lines like they do with receipt paper. Why do people say tuna fish when they don't say beef mammal or chicken bird? Nothing is on fire. Fire is on things. If people on a planet 65 million light years away look on the Earth, they will see dinosaurs. You're too big to ride a dog by the time you're smart enough to think to ride a dog. There's one day every year where we knowingly pass the university of the day that dinosaurs were wiped out by an asteroid. The person who would proofread Hitler's speeches was a grammar Nazi. The only reason celebrities always say we should follow their dreams is because they're part of the small percentage who are actually successful. When you bite down on something, you're actually biting up because you can't move your top jaw. Spacesuits are literally made to protect astronauts from nothing. Think about that. If you did something like a boss, you would just pay someone else to do it. Strap-on spelled backwards is no parts. The worst two sentences you can get are life and death. When there's a heavens no and a hell yeah, why isn't there a purgatory perhaps? When jogging, we put on special clothes, so people don't think we are running from or to something. In the last 20 years, I won over $7,300 by not buying a lottery ticket every day. When you have a PhD, every meeting you go to become a doctor's appointment. Mothers only get a day, but sharks get a whole week. Mars is populated entirely by robots. The sinking of the Titanic must have been a miracle to the lobsters in the kitchen. All our pets must have Stockholm Syndrome. Google Earth is good for finding out which of your neighbors has a pool. Horses must be the most farted upon creatures in the entire world. The war in drugs probably has more POWs than any actual war. If two people from opposite sides were to drop a piece of bread, the earth would briefly become a sandwich. What if Egyptians don't actually revere cats, but only jokingly did like we do on the internet? Your right elbow has never been touched by my right hand. And look at you just tried it. If you're still watching the video, which is quite unlikely. Netflix should have a rating system that includes, if I hate this, I want to keep watching it. I would throw around large amounts of shredded bread on public property, my proximity to ducks, to determine whether or not I'm littering. Your stomach thinks all potato is smashed. If anyone was giving the challenge to fall asleep in 10 minutes in exchange for $1 million, everyone would fail miserably. Somewhere out there's a bottle of Caesar salad dressing with the expiration date of March 15th. Computer labs should flicker its lights every now and then to remind students to save their work. Trying to be rich by playing the lottery is like trying to commit suicide by flying on commercial airlines. Minivans would be sliding doors so children don't have to open other cars. Slang is a colloquial word. Lobsters are mermaids to scorpions. Supervision sounds a lot cooler than it really is. A date is like a sex interview. When you drink alcohol, you are just borrowing happiness from tomorrow. Kevin Spacey gets paid more to pretend to be a politician than real ones get paid to run a country. And, well, that is all for this video. I hope you like this style of video. I mean, it's pretty new. So, yeah, see you later. Bye.